You ever come off of a date? And you're like, man, that went really well. Why am I not getting a second date, though? Why is this person ghosting me and not reaching back out to me? I must have been too good for them.
Well, according to your Tango, there's 6 reasons that you're not getting that second date.
All right, Loren, what are the reasons why someone might not be getting a second date?
You may have called your ex crazy.
In conversation, yes.
Now, Maney likes talking about the exes on a date. I do not.
Oh, I think it's, A, it's good conversation. And B, it tells you a lot about the person you're on a date with.
It tells me that you're not over your ex.
Well,
truly.
if they call their ex crazy, then you can dive into like what makes you say that, and then you're like, oh, that person wasn't crazy. You're the crazy one. Check, please.
Okay. Well, that might be why you're not getting a second date.
All right.
If you didn't dress to impress. If you just showed up looking like you rolled out of the gym or bed, you might not be getting a second date.
Yeah. Always dress to impress. There's no such thing as overdressing on a second date.
I agree. There's no such thing as overdressing in life.
Okay.
If you didn't bring anything to the conversation, you might not be getting that second date.
Yes. Yeah, don't be boring.
Well, don't overtalk either. Like, make sure that you're asking questions about the other person
Yes.
and giving them time to talk to. If you wouldn't stop looking at your phone, you might not be getting a second date. If you're too drunk.
Wait, hold on. Go back to the phone. That's so hard. We're all so addicted to our phones. I mentioned earlier this morning that I was out yesterday because my wife was in the hospital. I'll tell you why coming up here in about 20 minutes, about the crazy 24 hours I had. But at one point, my wife was like, get off your phone. I'm like, it's become a time filler for me. If there's downtime and a commercial on the show we're watching or something, I'll go to my phone.
Your wife also sent me a picture of you sleeping yesterday.
Yeah.
And your level of concern. Number 2 was if you're too drunk, you might not be getting that second date. If you just have a little too many on your date, they're like,
Yeah.
This phone looks sloppy. And then the number 1 reason that you might not be getting the second date is that you're way too into them. And scaring them away.
Yeah, overly gushy about them.
Yeah.
You know?
You put off those stage 5 clinger vibes.
Yeah. Can I touch your hair?
Ew. Your hair smells so good. Can I just...
Yeah.
Okay, this is over.
You got the prettiest earlobes. Did anybody get a weird comment on a date? We're going to go to break, but we could take your calls right now, or you can shoot us a text. Like, what's a weird comment that someone said to you on a date? 704-570-9595. I told you when I went out with this one girl when I lived in California, she was a waitress at this restaurant that I went to with some work buddies, and they gave me the courage to ask for her number. So I did, and it turned out that she listened to the radio show I was on in California. And then I went out with her, and when I got there to this different restaurant, by the way, don't take the person to the restaurant they work at or the bartender to the bar that they work at, right?
They don't want to do that.
No. So we got there, and she was there before me, and I was like, hey, how are you? And she looked at me like she didn't even know who I was. And then I started thinking, I go, oh, my God, is this the person? I was like, I think it is. She told me what she was wearing. I talked to her on the way there. Like, what's going on? And the whole date was so weird.
Do you think she was just nervous?
I think she was pretty nervous, yeah. Yeah, and it was just like I didn't even say anything.
Going out with a big celebrity like me. You just get inside your head and you're like, oh my gosh, what if he doesn't like me?
She was younger than me. But I didn't, like, Loren, there wasn't even anything I said that I offended her because I wasn't even there long enough.
Yeah.
Like, the hello was awkward. So needless to say, we never went out again. But yeah. All right, what somebody say on a date that made you say, I'm out? Somebody said, guy asked me if he could suck my toes.
Ew.
He was also a mortician. Somebody said, I'm 23. I went out on a date with my 33-year-old coworker. And the date was just odd from the beginning. She mentioned she had 4 kids and I could take care of her and her kids.
Oh, well, lucky you.
Yeah. Let's see. My crazy thing would be I went on a date with a guy in Charlotte. He kept using Uber. He kept Ubering to our dates, and I thought it was cute that he was being safe. I'd always drive him home to be nice. Come to find out, he wasn't Ubering by choice. He had 3 DUIs and no license.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yep.
I'm all set.
What did someone say to you on a first date?
We went out on a date, and he told me I had absolutely no behind, and I guess it's all because part of being a mom.
What?
Yes.
Did you kick him in the behind?
I should have, but I left. I blocked him.
And done.
Did you get up in the middle of the date and leave?
No, I waited till the date was over.
Okay.
And then I hate to do it. I'm not that kind of person, but I ghosted him.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. You got a meal, then you ghosted him, and he deserved it.
He did.
All right. Thanks for coming on with us. We appreciate it. Marianne in Pineville. Hey, Marianne.
Good morning.
What'd someone say to you on the first date?
So this was a blind first date, and I was in college. But at the very end of the date, he told me that I would look much better on the second date if I just got more dolled up. And I honestly didn't even know what to say to him at that point.
I mean, where do they think it's going at that point?
I got something to say, but I can't say it on the radio.
And how do you like you said you didn't even know how to respond. You're just like, huh, okay.
Right. And I thought the date had actually gone pretty well, but when that came out of his mouth, I was speechless at that point. And I think I just nodded my head and went on my own way.
I usually like to flip it around on somebody and go, does that work for you normally? Is that your go-to?
Once I was on a first date, someone texted in and said that they told me kids were baggage when I told them I had kids.
Oh, God.
Oh, they're baggage.